on the first page of our booklet, bearing Lucy's smiling face. And at this time, I'll invite the family to come up to the candles. As these Shabbat candles that we are about to light give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch haor ba'olam, Baruch haor ba'adam, Baruch haor ba'shalom, ba'shalom, Baruch haor, Baruch haor, ba'shabbat.
Please take a seat. Our readers tonight are drawn from the family and their dear ones, and they include Shelley Zickerman and Lucy, of course, Kyle and Sarah, Barb and Ron Meteyer, Vera Dunnigan, Ainsley Meteyer, Hesh Zickerman, and Lindsay Kaufman and Kimmy Zoltak. And we will continue with this beautiful song, Hinei Ma Tov, how good it is when we gather together.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. We celebrate life. We celebrate the joyous times of life. Jewish civilization marks time by many measures. The month is one moon, the year is 12 months, and childhood is 13 years. Jewish civilization marks personal time in the day and in the week. Shabbat is the mile marker of Jewish life. When we reach an important time in our lives, it does not pass unnoticed. We stop what we're doing and we celebrate what we have accomplished. We know there's always more work to do. The more work we do, the more celebrations we have to anticipate. When we pause for Shabbat, it is an opportunity to reflect on the special times in our lives. This Shabbat is one of those times.
About our ceremony, We have come together this Shabbat to celebrate a milestone in my life and that of my family. This life cycle event connects us to tradition and the generations that have come before us. It roots us in history. The Bat Mitzvah service also gives us expression to our own creativity. It celebrates our freedom, commitment, and responsibility to define Judaism and the Jewish experience in keeping with our own convictions and sensibilities. This, too, is our very Jewish. Creativity and innovation are part of our tradition. It is living. It evolves and reaches for the future as much as it is grounded in the past. From generation to generation, Lador Vador, we are linked in time to the traditions of our people, including the tradition of change. For many centuries, our people have celebrated the coming of age of Jewish men by means of bar mitzvah ceremony. In the 20th century, young women joined them, celebrating their bat mitzvah. It is a time when family and friends travel from near and far to be together as they renew their love while sharing joy of youthful achievement. It is time when we merge our past with the hopes for the future, when the present offers the promise of tomorrow. In humanistic Judaism, the bat mitzvah ceremony has become a time of recognizing an important step towards adulthood. Rather than chanting from scriptures, humanistic Judaism challenges B'nai Mitzvah to prepare and present thoughtful presentations that reflect ourselves and that share our values and concerns.
Our pants get too small, our legs grow too long. Braces go on our teeth, baby fat disappears. We stay by ourselves at night, we babysit for a sibling. Step by step, moment by moment, we grow from an infant into a child, into a teenager, into an adult. The progression is never smooth, and some of us excel at one stage more than another. But sooner or later, through the joy and the pain of daily experience, we learn the most precious lessons of life: when to go it alone and when to ask for help, when to be trusting and when to hold back, when to stand firm and when to bend, when to take risks and when to say enough.
Growing up takes a lifetime, but there are milestones along the way and ceremonies to help us recognize those passages. These ceremonies mark moments of transition. They are dramas of change, carrying us across thresholds, declaring to one and all that what we once were, we no longer are. We are more, different, better, and we do so in the presence of loved ones, friends, and community, who each bear witness to our declaration.
Ashana,
Some people spend their entire lives searching for the meaning of life. Others come to understand that there is no singular meaning of life. It is up to each of us to fashion meaning for our own lives.
We can begin by setting goals and aspirations, but that is the easy part. Dreaming is important, but no one ever found purpose in life by simply dreaming. It takes hard work. If we are fortunate, we will be helped along the way by family, friends, and generous strangers.
Ultimately, we are responsible for reaching our own goals, just as we are accountable for other aspects of our lives. It is challenging. It carries with it the risks of failure, but the rewards of assuming responsibility for determining our own unique purpose in life are worth it.
Sakaki, sakaki, alahalomo, suani haholem sakaki kiva namamin, iodeni mamin sakaki kiva namamin,
A bat mitzvah service is a time to consider our values. Humanistic Jews believe that any good value is a universal value. Jewish tradition has framed many good universal values in language that is unique to our culture. One of these is called Gamilut Chasadim, performing deeds of loving kindness. There are so many people in need. Some suffer from poverty. Hunger and want are their constant companions. They fear for their physical survival. Others suffer from discrimination. They are targeted because of the color of their skin, their family heritage, their beliefs, or sexual orientation. Still others suffer from loneliness and abandonment, craving human companionship, or even a kind word. They all share one thing in common, an assault on their dignity. There exists only one cure: deeds of loving kindness. We must work together to spread loving kindness throughout our societies. We must each take upon ourselves a commitment to demonstrate compassion, giving something of our substance and our capacity to care. When we do so, we will be practicing Gemilut Chasadim, deeds of loving kindness. This is a universal value in any language.
There's a place with answers we are seeking. There's a place to find our light of hope. Where's the strength to realize our vision? Here's my comment, Okeinu. Here's my comment, Okeinu. Look within yourself, you'll find it there. There's a place with wisdom that can guide us. There's a place where we know what's right or wrong. Where's the path to peace that we all long for? Here's my comment, Okeinu. Here's my comment, Okeinu. Look within yourself, you'll find it there.
Anne Frank wrote in her diary, "That's the difficulty in these times. Ideals, dreams, and cherished hopes rise within us, only to meet the horrible truth and be shattered. It's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all my ideals because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. I simply can't build up on my hopes on a foundation consisting of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the ever-approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I can feel the sufferings of millions, and yet, if I look up into the heavens, I think that it will all come right, that this cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again. In the meantime, I must uphold my ideals, for perhaps the time will come when I shall be able to carry them out.
In this community where we find strength and common purpose, we turn our minds and hearts toward all those who need our love and support, those who are ill, those who suffer pain of the body or spirit, those who are lonely, those who have been wronged. Tonight we extend our wishes, our well wishes to these members of our congregation and to their loved ones, to Joe Gaden, to Rabbi Peter Schweitzer. And I asked the family whom they would like to extend well wishes to, and they told me, as I know most of our hearts are upon this place, the people of Ukraine. As I read those words of Anne Frank, and I thought about how it was not very far from that place that she wrote those words and spoke about the ever-encroaching thunder, that this is what millions of people in that place are listening to every single night as they hold their children dear and hope for their survival. This is the long story of humankind, and we extend our well wishes to all of those who are suffering tonight. May they all know that they are not alone. May they be healed quickly. May they experience a refuah shlema, a complete healing, the renewal of their bodies and the renewal of their spirits.
We now remember those who are no longer living. In tribute to them, we live wisely, courageously, and usefully. Each of us is more than an individual. We are members of a living people. Our lives stretch back into the past and reach forward into the future. As we dream of tomorrow, we do not forget our yesterdays. We remember with love great uncles and aunts, grandparents and great-grandparents, all of whom contributed to our lives. So long as we live and remember, they too shall live.
Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. As we do, we say, Yehi zichram livracha. May the memories of these beloved people provide a measure of comfort as we face this life in their absence. If you can do so comfortably, please rise as together we recite a humanistic interpretation of Kaddish. Please join me. Nit gadal v'nit kadash beruach ha'adam. Let us dignify and ennoble all people in the spirit of our shared humanity. Let us acclaim the preciousness of life. Let us show gratitude for life by approaching it with reverence. Let us embrace the whole world, even as we wrestle with... You probably don't know what I'm about to tell you. You are making history tonight. Tonight is the 100th anniversary of the first bat mitzvah. On this very day, on March 8th, 1922, and there are very few young women in the Jewish world who are doing what you're about to do tonight. We're going to learn from a very extraordinary young woman whom I am very proud to know. And so I present you with our teacher for this evening, Lucy Meteyer.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I'm so excited to share with you what I've been working on. Thank you for driving in from out of town and joining me on this special night. I feel the love in this room. Everyone you meet is fighting a great battle you know nothing about. Be kind, always. Robin Williams. I think many of you know who said this. He was the star of some great movies such as Mrs. Doubtfire and Jumanji. What you may not know is that Robin Williams struggled with a very severe case of Lewy body dementia. He could barely control his mind and body movements. He ended up taking his own life. It was a secret that he was going through terrible times, and if he would have told someone, he definitely would have received love. Being kind in times of need, or really at any random time, can change someone's life. What Robin Williams can serve as a reminder is that we really have to step into other people's shoes to truly understand what people feel, to spread kindness. Let's help fight battles with others instead of against them. The world is being filled with more and more unkindness. People everywhere are using their voices and actions to hurt others. What we should be doing is using our abilities to make the world a better place, because our world is in need of change. To do that, we need to be better to each other. If we are kinder, it can lead to everyone being inclusive, forgetting our differences, joining together as one community to improve our world. Empathy, reason, and knowledge are all great tools we can use to change our world for the better. If we start feeling a connection while stepping into others' shoes, we can become closer to one another, and others can learn how to become empathetic. Reason is a great tool to improve our world because it challenges us to be thoughtful about why this person needs love and why we should be kind to them. These questions can lead to deeper and more thoughtful caring. Knowledge is understanding someone's particular situation, which can help kindness grow. Imagine a situation where someone walked up to you and suddenly started pulling your hair. You definitely might freak out. But now imagine knowing this person is autistic. This might help you learn that their actions are how they express their love. Empathy, reason, and knowledge are all tools we can use to continue making our world a better place. The bad news is, even though we have the ability to be kind, we also have some traits that can lead to uncaring. Humans are built to be tribal. There is no avoiding it. Evolution gave us a shortcut to know who we can trust and who we can't. The world is complicated, and our brains sometimes can't make sense of people, so we categorize people into groups. Tribalism leads us to see people as categories like black, white, popular, gay, or non-natives of America. Our tribalism can lead us to believing that our group of people is superior to other groups who are worse, and we tend to be kind to our group because of trust. Tribalism can even be dangerous when it leads to ranking people by their different characteristics. It's what contributes to people believing that their group is ranked higher or more superior. For example, in Nazi Germany, people assigned all kinds of terrible characteristics to the Jews, and we know all too well what the results were. Our tribal thinking means that too frequently, people are considered different, are treated worse. This is because we create in our mind who the ideal people are and who are not. Think about a society where being Christian, straight, white, and binary has always been considered normal. Different beliefs, boom, judged. Different sexuality, boom, harassed. Different colored skin, boom, distrusted. Different type of gender, boom, mistreated. These are everyday examples of what happens to people in the US who are just being themselves but are mistreated for who they are. And what is the result? Our tribalist minds often lead us to being unkind. We don't think of people as individuals with rights. We put them under a category as if everyone in that category is the same. We think of different as bad. Everyone has tribalist thoughts. Just think about a time where you were unkind or had unkind thoughts about someone just because of their differences. In America, the most common tribalist thinking is usually skin color or culture. When we see someone of a different skin color, we tend to immediately jump to conclusions. When a white person sees someone with a hijab and light brown skin, too many white people react as if they might be a terrorist. White people may associate what has happened previously, like 9/11, with people today. This person may be so compassionate, but tribalism too frequently leads people to assume they have bad intentions. We all jump to conclusions, and often people ignore the humanity of those not like them, which causes people to be unkind and deny basic human rights and dignity. This is tribalism every day. It's when people do not trust each other just because of their differences. Tribalism is here because of fear. We need to have courage and cross the borders so we can reach out and see other people as not a member of a group, but a person. If we do this, we will stop labeling each other into groups and can be a lot more caring for each person. In the Jewish tradition, kindness is expressed by the Hebrew word chesed. Chesed doesn't only mean kindness. It is translated to loving kindness, which means devoting ourselves to others. It means trying to turn to love and compassion. Not only that, but it means you can have courage and imagination too. The concept of chesed appears in the Torah more than 190 times. For this reason, many Jewish thinkers hold the value of loving kindness up as Judaism's most important teachings, holding the view that chesed can be given to anybody. From the Talmud we learn, Torah tchilata gimilu chasedim vesofa gimilu chasedim. It has been said that the beginning and end of the Torah is only kindness. And this too, Tanu Rabbana Yishosha Devarim Gidola Gimnu Chasadim Yoter Min Chastaka. The rabbis taught that kindness is even more important than giving charity. Why? Tzedakah bimimamono Gimnu Chasadim begufo. Charity is performed with money, but acts of loving kindness are performed with one's entire being. And we are all familiar with this verse in the Torah. V'ahavta lire'acha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. When we love our neighbors as ourselves and have an understanding with each other, we are extending chesed. A person who has received love and kindness is more likely to pass it on to others. Chesed is an opportunity to connect with others. Jewish traditions teach that gimlu chasedim, the actual performance of acts of loving kindness without wanting anything in return, can lead to tikkun olam. In the case of kindness, repairing the world on the individual level. This is what leads to a more kind world. Just as I learned about kindness from Jewish tradition, humanism also contributes to what I've learned about kindness. Humanism formed because people started being skeptical in the idea of God. We thought, well, maybe we can be who we want to be and not worry about an invisible nature we almost know nothing about dictating who we are and what we've become. It teaches us how to be kind in a couple of ways. We are not taught that rules made us kind. We are not taught that God made us kind. We are taught to be kind on our own terms, to be kind because we feel empathy for others. Humanism helps us focus not on what we can do for God, but what we can do for others around us. Without humanistic Judaism, I do not know if I would have the same beliefs as I do now. I do not know if I'd be educated about the world. But what I do know is that humanistic Judaism is who I am. I love my religion and I am proud of it. I believe in the human dignity that leads us to everyone having rights. I believe we are all different. I believe we are all humans. I believe that equality and diversity can happen at the same time. I believe that spreading kindness is one of the best things someone can do. Humanistic Judaism helped me realize what I believe and how I can set my beliefs into motion. Jerry Grodsky was one of my favorite people I've met. He was my Hebrew teacher and made everyone feel special. He really was kind to everyone who knew him, and people were always smiling whenever he was in the room. He unfortunately passed away of an unexpected heart attack, and everyone was in tears. I took it especially hard because I was really close to him. But everyone felt so emotional because he left such a big impact through kindness in all of our lives. I miss him so much, and I know he will always be remembered for spreading chesed. I mention him here because of his impact on everyone who knew him. He made us want to help others and begin a kinder world. To me, kindness is recognizing everyone is different and accepting that diversity. It means bringing more kindness into our world. It means not feeling threatened, not feeling sad, not feeling excluded in any way. We can do small things, but they have such a big impact. Kindness spreads happiness, and happiness spreads kindness. Since my biggest goal is to bring more kindness into the world, I started a kindness club with my mom at Musson Elementary. When we work together, we can bring so much more love into neighborhoods, communities, cities, and nations. The Kindness Club has been working together on spreading kindness and doing acts of chesed, gimlu chasedim, and tikkun olam. We have done things like clean up local parks, make cards for veterans, organize a canned food drive for the homeless, donate winter supplies to those who don't have them, make breakfast for the staff, make gift bags for kids in hospitals during the holidays, make dog toys for a shelter, and purchase books about kindness and empathy for schools in the surrounding communities. After the tragic Oxford shooting, we sold pins and bracelets to support their community and donated the money to Oxford community. That is what kindness means to me. Sharing and spreading joy, love, and happiness. Quotes really inspired me to spread kindness. I began my speech with one, and now I'll end with one that I wrote in hopes that it will inspire you. You can't change a person, but you can change how you act towards each person different than you. Lucy Meteyer. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you to Rabbi Jeff for mentoring me and working with me for the past year to prepare this special day and for this beautiful service. Thank you to all my friends and family who came all over the U.S. to celebrate this special day with me. Thank you to my family for all of your special projects that you'll see and enjoy tomorrow night. And thank you to Landon, Lainey, Mom, and Dad for all your love and support. I could not have done this without you. I hope everyone enjoyed the service. Please join us for some treats following the ceremony. I can't wait to party with everyone tomorrow night. Shabbat Shalom.
Wow, you are a role model for me.
Thank you.
I want you to know that. You're the first. We changed some things this year. So Lucy is the first bar mitzvah student that I've taken all the way from the beginning to the end. We used to have tutors and so forth come in, and I got really lucky. I drew the long straw with you getting to have that opportunity to start. In our congregation's history, we've often asked the kids to do something easier, to pick a role model and talk about that person. But Lucy was determined she was going to talk about this topic, and it was a really complicated topic, as you could tell. There were so many ins and outs, and we had so many interesting discussions about how are you kind to people that are rotten? We talked about that. We talked about how we bring kindness into the world in so many different ways. And in every single one of those conversations, she brought a little spark of light and wisdom and honestly just herself in every way. I'm so proud of you. I know that your parents are proud of you and your family. You're a leader. I know that you know that. Not every young person is a leader. And I don't say this to every bar mitzvah who comes up here. What that means is that you are a role model to them, to others. The way you live your life, people are going to look at that. And because of the respect that they have for you, because of the way you comport yourself, because of your clear intelligence, and all of the other features of leadership you have, it's going to mean more because you bring with it this value of chesed. You did not overstate it. Chesed is really at the core of so much that we have taught as humanists and as Jews throughout our histories. And the ability to bring that kind of kindness into the world and to be an effective leader and just a wonderful person, that's really unique and special. I mentioned that you made history tonight. And I'm going to give you a book called The Veterans of History, A Young Person's History of the Jews. And this is your Kiddush cup, so we'll give you those gifts. Please don't forget them. But you did make history tonight because when they held the first bat mitzvah 100 years ago, it was the first ceremony for a young woman to come forward and to be recognized as part of the community. And she went on, she was the daughter actually of a very famous rabbi, Mordechai Kaplan. She went on to be a leader in the Jewish world, and she spread this idea of equality for women in Jewish ceremonial and communal life. And her entire vision has been realized tonight in your coming to this bima and teaching us what you did. 100 years exactly to the day. Judith Kaplan, that was her name, could not have possibly had a better person to step into her shoes 1 century later. So I want to thank you for being that too. Sorry? Yeah, well, I knew it, but I didn't want to tell you until tonight because I didn't want to make you nervous, more nervous. But I also felt it was really special because it was a confluence of a person who's so terrific with a person who was so important and terrific in our history. And you really, I think, did the entire Jewish world proud tonight and Jewish history proud. So you have that small tick mark right now in Jewish history that no one could ever take away, but I think you're going to go on to make a lot more history too. I think that generations of people, both the family that you know, the people who are on your teams, the people who you go to school with, I think that these people are going to benefit and that your kindness is going to radiate as it always has. So mazel tov to you, to the family. I just have to say, I've met the Meteyer family. We were talking about this like 9 years ago, and when Lady was really tiny. And I'm just so thrilled that you all are part of our community. Thank you for bringing your children. Thank you, Sarah, for teaching. Thank you, Kyle, for your leadership. I could go on and on and on, but you know how great they are. That's why you came tonight. So we're going to continue. I left my book over here, but I'll have you take a seat. And we are going to continue. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to continue with a song that I selected myself because, well, Lucy really loves it. It's called Not by Might, and she would request it every Sunday morning for many, many years now.
Many Jews like to speak about the continuity of our people throughout the millennia, comparing each generation to a link in a great chain of tradition. In reality, there is no continuous chain of Jewish tradition. Judaism has always changed to suit the times. Those who lived in ancient Israel were quite unlike those who lived 1,000 years later. We who live in the age of science would hardly relate to the concerns of either era. The practices of our ancestors were as dissimilar from our own as classical music is from modern popular songs. With music, we can recognize the distinctions, yet still we know that it is music. With Judaism, we can also acknowledge vast differences while knowing that it is still Judaism.
Today we celebrate a new voice that will sing a new song in a new key, but it will still be the music of our people.
Alright, so I'm just going to get into my candle lightings, thanking all of the people who play a really big role in my life. So first, to the Zoltax. Your home is constantly changing, but will always stay the same is my love for your family. Nail dates, war lessons, making memories with Amelia. Spending time with you will always last. Aunt Kimmy and Amelia, will you please light this candle with me? Thank you. Next, from cookies to pizza to tie-dyeing to bounce houses, we will always have the best time. Popcorn and grapes. Ha! We will never forget that line. I love my up north cousin crew and spending time with all of you. We laugh, we sing, we dance and bake. We will always have fun in the lake. Coffin family, I love you. Now please, and come and light this candle too. Thank you. Next up, Theo, Sharon, and Duck. I am so lucky to have cousins like you. Whether we are cruising, sliding down water slides, eating chicken dinners at Frankenmuth, or creating a show, we will never run out of things to do. Aunt Cindy and Uncle Brett, I love all of our adventures together. Under the big bucket, our hikes around Michigan, and all of the up north s'mores. I can't wait to see what this year will bring. Team AAABC, will you come and light this candle with me? Thank you so much. There is a reason the word grand comes before ma and pa. You are amazing in every way. You always listen to my accomplishments and feelings. You always give the best hugs. You always take us on the coolest trips. Thank you for always being grand. Plus, your house is a home away from home for me. I love spending time there because of the smell, the fun, the food, and most of all, you. Will you come help me light this candle? Thank you, Grandma and Grandpa. Nani and Papa, where do I even start? Maybe at all the amazing dinners we have together, the sleepovers, the family movies, the trips, the laughs, the messes we make. We have created so many memories together. I know you will always be there for me. You are always ready to help, and I can count on it with a quick text. You come to all of my sporting events near and far. You are my biggest fans. This makes me, and I bet Lan and Lainey too, feel very special. Thank you for always being there for our family. Will you come and light this candle with me? Thank you, Nani and Papa. Alrighty, Landon, since you were born, I have known and loved you. We are basically twins. In fact, we are Irish twins. Out of all the years we have cherished together, this year has been one of my favorites. From day one, I have loved showing you middle school and the ways of the Vikings. But sometimes you can be a bug. However, as you have always said, it's part of a middle child's job. Even though this is true, you are willing to do everything for me. This week he's like, I've asked him to get my socks and he gets them for me. Also, there are countless amounts of memories I've made with you. From ski trips, to playing in the ocean, to bike rides, to hours of reading, to laughing until our stomachs hurt. I love making memories with you. Lainey, whenever you're around, there's fun to be had. I love the spa days you give me. I love our tea parties. I love the dances we choreograph. I love playing hide and go seek. And I love baking with you, just naming a few. I can always count on you wanting to play. Having a baby sister is the best, especially when that sister has sass, spunk, and feistiness I wish I had. Landon and Lainey, thank you for always being there to cheer me on and support me. I am lucky to have siblings like you. Now get up here and light these candles. Notice how I said this like a bossy older sister. Thanks for being the best siblings. And finally, last but not least, dear old mom and dad. I just want to let you guys know, this was probably the hardest part of my bat mitzvah. You guys are so awesome, even the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious can't describe you. After a lot of thinking, I decided to list some of the most special things about you. First of all, you always make me feel special. After all, I am, being part Moses and part deeply caring. I love our nightly talks and hair braidings from Mom. I'm fortunate to have such amazing supportive parents. I'm so thankful that you support me in sports, schools, and my bat mitzvah. I'm especially thankful that you drive your butts around to make our lives awesome. But what is most important to me is the love you show to everyone. When we are hurt or struggling, you are always there. You also make sacrifices so that we benefit in the situation. Like when Mom always offers to trade her good bed or good mittens or good shoes for our slightly less good ones when we're complaining. Or when Dad picks up our chores when we don't finish them, even though he has a lot to do. But you guys are willing to give up anything for us. Makes me love you even more. It also teaches me a lesson. Not to mention all of the other lessons you teach me, like being kind, putting others first, and you don't always get what you want, and then don't dish it if you can't take it. Thank you, both Mom and Dad, for being extraordinary parents. I love you both so much. Could you please come up and light this candle with me?
Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. People have come from far and wide, and we appreciate your effort in being here tonight on this Friday evening. Rabbi Jeff, thank you so much for everything over this past year and beyond. What a wonderful touch tonight with the 100th anniversary announcement that brought tears to my eyes. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. So Lucy, just a few weeks ago, you shared a funny story, a memory with us at the dinner table. You told us that your kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Adamick, told you that you were going to first grade after just 3 weeks of kindergarten for the reason that you are so kind. That's what she told Lucy. We think you believed that this was the reason for your grade advancement until pretty recently. And while there were some other reasons for your grade advancement, Mrs. Adamick was totally correct that you are such a kind person, and that needed to be recognized at such a young age.
And that in just those 3 short weeks that you were in Miss Adamick's class, she saw your loving kindness. And you were only 5 years old, and she saw this in you. She saw it through your smile, that it could change the world. She saw that in your heart and in your spirit. And she saw that you were just filled with so much love. And she saw this through your words, and through your behavior, and through your actions towards others.
Lucy, you're a very special girl. Kindness is who you are. You're wise beyond your years, and you know when people aren't kind, everything falls apart. But when people are kind, doors open and happiness spreads. You always want to help others when they are down. You care for every soul around you, even those kids who need it the most. You don't judge others, but you ask what battle they are fighting and wonder how you can help. You are a role model to everyone around you.
Lucy has been preparing for this day for almost a year now. And what many of you might not know is that she was in a ski accident on Sunday, so just 5 days ago, and got a concussion. And even through all of that, she is here today. She rose to the occasion, and she truly did shine. And we are so proud of you. We love you, and everyone here tonight loves you. And even the people who aren't here tonight, they love you, and they are so proud of you and all of your accomplishments.
When beginning your bat mitzvah study, you had a difficult time thinking of a famous person who has molded you and your beliefs to who you are today. So instead, you asked if you could study and research a theme. We weren't sure how this would go or turn out, but you surely exceeded all of our expectations. You can do anything you set your mind to. You did so wonderfully tonight. We are so proud of you up here on the podium, and we are so thankful that you are ours.
Lucy, always be you. Keep shining, keep spreading kindness, keep working hard. We are so proud of you, baby girl. Mazel tov. And we know you like quotes, so we're going to end one, two. Laugh often, dream big, and reach for the stars.
You guys stay up here for the closing song. I want to end with a blessing. This is a blessing that I give my daughters every week before Shabbat. Hayi asher tihi, v'tihi bucha b'asher tihi. Be just who you are, and may you always be blessed in all that you are. Mazel tov, you guys. Thank you. We're going to conclude with a song called Salam Shalom, Od Yavo Shalom. May peace come soon. Thank David Weeks, who helps us stream our services here every week. Ezra Donner, our music director. Thank you all for coming. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.